Hello YouTube, and welcome back to another Bad Luck Garage product review. Today we're going to be reviewing the Mr. Cartool Smoke Diagnostic Leak Detector, model T110. Alright guys, so what we have here is a, well, just like it says, smoke diagnostic leak detector, and the purpose of this device is to look for leaks in well, pretty much any enclosed system on your vehicle. You can hook this up to your exhaust to look for exhaust leaks. If you're putting together a turbo kit, which I know a lot of the guys that are on this channel, that's why they're here, but you can use this to check for leaks in your hot side. You can use it to check for leaks in your cold side. You can also use it to check for vacuum leaks, fuel leaks in your fuel system. Like I said, guys, pretty much any type of enclosed automotive system, you can use this to check for leaks. But this is not a how-to video on how to use this. This is an unboxing and a review. So let's open it up and check it out. Now, before I do open this, I do want to say that links for this will be in the description of this video, as well as any discount codes that the company has offered me for you guys. Let's just get right to the meat of it. Looks like it is packaged fairly well. We've got, actually the main unit comes out first. This looks pretty nice. And I do want to say, guys, this is a sponsored video. This company actually reached out to me and asked me to review this. So bearing that in mind, I did tell them the same thing I tell every company that I do the sponsored review for. If it's good, it's good. And I'll say it's good. If it's crap, we're going to call it crap. So I want to say right off the bat, yes, this is obviously made in China or somewhere abouts. But it seems to be pretty solid, guys. Nothing rattling, anything like that. And one thing that I did notice about this when they sent me a link to it is, you know, you've got your little flow gauge and everything here, which a lot of the machines don't have. It also has, you know, it has an on-off switch to heat it up, and then I'm assuming the smoke switch is actually to get the smoke flowing. So I think it's got a fan built in. So there's no need to have to hook up like an air compressor. I know a lot of units out there, you actually have to hook up your own air source to them. This one you do not. It's pretty much all self-contained, guys. So yeah, you've got your air pressure gauge here, which is liquid filled. Then on the back here, obviously you've got a plug-in port for power. And then I'm assuming here in a minute when we put this together, this is where our line's going to come off. All right, but like I said, looks pretty solid so far. Let's see what else is in the box. Some kind of pump here, some kind of air pump. I don't know if this is a transfer pump, what this is. Hopefully it'll tell us in the instructions. We have our hook, which is probably going to go in here. That's so you can hang this up in the engine bay. We have an adapter. I'm just going to go through all this here. This is obviously a bottle to put whatever oil you're using. They do recommend using baby oil. I guess this is a bottle to put it in there to make it easier to fill. There's our hook I was just talking about. This looks like some kind of adapter. You would probably use this in the tailpipe, to put in the tailpipe to inject smoke into that system, or possibly in your intake manifold, anything with a larger diameter opening. And there's a smaller one as well. And then it comes with plugs for just about everything, guys. So, you know, if you're, say you're testing a length of pipe, or say your turbo hot side for exhaust or for leaks off the vehicle, and you need to plug one in. Well, this kit comes with all sorts of different sizes and shapes of plugs, so you can do that. There is the what I think is the main air tube that's going to attach on the back of the unit. We've got more caps to cap off lines. This is kind of the same purpose as these guys, but opposite, where this would go inside of something to plug it. These are going to allow you to pop these on the outside of things to plug them. So this kit is pretty much self-contained and comes with everything you need. And last but not least, your power connectors here. So all this does, and pretty much any smoke machine you use is going to operate the same way. You do not plug it into a receptacle, guys. You plug your power lead here into the back of the machine, and then you simply attach these to your positive and negative battery terminals. So that's what actually powers the machine. And then we've got a nice little instruction manual here that hopefully tells us everything we need to know. As long as we speak Spanish, I think we're good. Just kidding, guys. It's got English instructions as well. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to try to hook all this up and test it out. One strike here, very limited instructions. You literally only get 2 pages. It has this big thick instruction booklet here, but every 2 pages is a different language. So you actually only have 2 pages of instructions. You know, honestly, this is kind of what I expect from things that I get on eBay or Amazon. Luckily, this is not a very complicated thing to use, so we're going to figure it out. We'll start off with our hook here that goes in the top. And you've got this collar to tighten it up so that, you know, that's going to allow you to turn the hook whichever way you need to turn it, and then tighten your collar up. So I do want to say this. Having used one of these machines in the past, I have never seen this tool before in my life. And since the instructions don't really make it clear what this is or what to do with it, I don't know what to tell you guys. I really have no clue what the purpose of this is. But that is definitely something that they need to add to the instructions. This is something I'm used to seeing. This is your main hose here that you're going to use for anything else here, any of these other adapters. So we'll go ahead and hook this up, and all you're going to do is down here on the bottom, you're going to want to unscrew this nut, slide this tube through it, place the tube over this nipple, and then tighten your collar back up. Here's how this works, guys. We are going to pour baby oil into our little filler here. It does recommend, it says, when you use this detector the first time, please fill 20 to 30 milliliters of oil, not beyond this range. And it does recommend always pouring out the old oil before you add fresh oil. How this works is once you turn this on, it's actually got an element down in here. It's going to heat up the oil. In our case, we're going to be using baby oil. So it's going to heat the oil up. It's going to produce smoke. And then I believe when you hit this little button here, it's actually going to turn the fan on. It's going to blow the smoke out of this end and into whatever you have it. Like say you're checking your exhaust system, you would shove this in the exhaust pipe. You would take this end, shove it in here just like so, shove that in your exhaust pipe like I just said. It would fill your entire exhaust system up with smoke. At that point, you can go under there, look for leaks. If you see smoke coming out anywhere, obviously that's a leak. We're just going to test this thing out on our China Vet project. How fitting, right? We'll try out a Chinese manufactured smoke machine on our eBay budget Corvette project. Now, since we really don't have a measuring device, I'm going to assume that the included bottle is probably about 30 milliliters, probably what they recommend using. So I have filled this bottle with baby oil, and now I'm just going to use this bottle to fill up the machine. Screw our cap back on, and we'll go over here to the China Vet and try this out. So like I said before, we're just going to come out here, hang the unit up, plug the power lead into the unit, connect our red to positive on our battery, and our black to ground. Now we're going to hit our power button, and we can hear the unit working. Now I can feel a little bit of air pressure coming out of here, and if you cover it up you can actually hear the unit. And you can see when I cover it, the pressure will go up and the flow will actually go down. With the power on, the fan's obviously working, but look guys, no smoke. So what we do is we go over here and hit the smoke button. What this is going to do is it's actually going to heat the element up in the bottom of the machine and heat the oil up, and it should start producing smoke. Oh, there we go guys. Just want to say I do actually have one of these that I made homemade with a paint can, and yeah, it doesn't, yeah, nothing like this guys. This thing's putting out good smoke, and it actually started putting it out within about 30 seconds of me turning it on, within about 10 seconds of me hitting the smoke button. So I'm already really happy with this. So I know I did say that this was not a how-to video, but I do kind of want to show you guys just, you know, how you would use this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to allow this to run for about 5 minutes. I'm going to open my garage door because it puts out a lot of smoke, guys. I'm going to let this run for about 5 minutes, and you know what? I might just let it run a couple of 5-minute cycles just to make sure it's not going to just burn up immediately, because this is a product review. And just be forewarned, guys, this is not something you want to do in an enclosed garage. I actually only had this thing running for a few seconds, and it pretty much filled my garage up with smoke. So when you're doing this smoke testing, make sure that you've either got a fan drawing air out of the garage, or that you're doing this outside. But what I'm going to do is, while I'm letting it run, just to make sure it's not going to burn up, make sure it's a good unit, is I'm going to demonstrate while it's running, just demonstrate the different adapters that it came with, except of course for the one that I have no clue what it does. Okay guys, the first one is our threaded adapter, which would allow you to well, to be honest, pretty much any kind of adapter you can think of for a hard line, brake lines, anything you could use this for. And you know, again, you just stick the end in there and then it's coming out the threaded end. And we've got this smaller adapter which would allow you to hook it up to vacuum lines, things of that nature. Then we've got our big coupler here. This is what you would use to test a hot side on a turbo setup, or your exhaust system, or your intake, things like that. Guys, I'm just gonna say I'm already really impressed. This thing's putting out a lot of smoke. It's putting out so much smoke that I'm going to have to actually take this line and run it out towards the end of my garage while I'm letting this run. That thing has been running for quite a while. The bottom of it got a little bit hot, but basically I had to shut it off because it was putting out so much smoke that even with the fans going, pulling the smoke out of the garage there, it was still getting pretty smoky in here. So yeah, I don't know if you can tell, but it's been a few minutes to dissipate and it's still kind of smoky, but I decided to go ahead and shut it off. One final thing I wanted to show was kind of how you would use it to look for a vacuum leak, because although, as I said, you can use this to check for exhaust leaks, which I plan on doing in the near future, and you know, to check your cold side on your turbo systems, things like that. The most common thing that this is used for is to check for vacuum leaks. So just a quick run through on how I'm going to do that. I'm going to unplug my brake line. I have pulled my check valve out, and now we're simply going to take the end of our hose coming from our test machine there, and we're going to shove it in here, until it seals securely. Then we just turn on our machine, turn on our smoke, and you can see we have flow, no pressure. Ideally, if I was actually expecting to find a leak, I would pull my covers and everything off so I could see around the manifold and anything, but basically at this point we just look and see if smoke starts coming out anywhere. What that's doing right now is that's actually pumping our entire intake full of smoke from our vacuum line for our brakes here. So right now, this entire intake manifold is full of smoke. You can actually see, indeed, we have smoke coming out of our filters down there, both ends, which shows us that this entire manifold here is now pretty much pressurized with smoke. But we don't have any smoke coming from anywhere up here, guys, just coming out the filters. So no vacuum leaks. Now, what you just saw me do can be applied to, again, any enclosed system on the car. You can check your brake lines, you can check your fuel lines, preferably when they're empty, coolant lines, exhaust, your headers, anything, guys. I wanted to show you guys again, kind of lay everything out and show what all this comes with. We've got the main unit. We've got various adapters over here, the large adapter for exhaust pipes, intake tubing, things of that nature. We've got a small adapter that again has a threaded fitting, so you could thread different things into this. Just going into you know, your fuel lines, brake lines, things of that nature, you could buy different adapters to thread into this to check those systems. You also have a rubber adapter here that goes to different sizes to possibly shove into a hard line. You also have this assortment of plugs of various shapes and sizes and an assortment of caps in various shapes and sizes. Something I didn't see earlier when I was dumping everything out, but we actually have a Schrader valve removal tool. This would be on you know, like your, say you were testing your fuel system, you would take your pressure test port on your fuel injection, on your fuel rail, and remove the valve from it. That's what that's for. Didn't even realize it came with that at first, guys. And you've got your oil bottle, instruction book, and again, this is, honestly, guys, this is the one downfall of this system that I see is, the instruction book, very poorly written. It does not translate well. You know, hopefully this video shows you what you need to know to use this thing, because the instruction book isn't going to help you much. And finally, I have no clue what this is, but I would really like to know. Maybe the manufacturer can chime in the comments and let us know exactly what this is for, because I have no clue, guys. I mean, it pumps up and holds air here, and you can let air out here. I'm sure that's not what this is for, but the only thing that I could think that maybe this would be for is you could shove this into a pipe and, you know, maybe pump this up to seal the other end of a pipe, because it is, you know, like a balloon. That is the only thing that I could think this would be for. And then maybe this is, yeah, this is a pass-through, guys. So that must be what this is for. This is to shove into a pipe, seal it up, and then you can stick this end of your tube into here, and this passes through to, you know, to pump smoke into the pipe. Which reminds me, you can also use this in your house to check your plumbing, things like that. Look for leaks in your plumbing system. So this isn't just for automotive use, guys, but glad we figured out what this is for. Anyway, guys, this is the part of the video where I kind of go over my thoughts and opinions on it. I think this is an excellent setup. I know at different times it's being sold for different prices. I have seen it everywhere from I think about $199 or $189 all the way up to $320. If you start looking into, you know, heavy duty smoke machines like this, that's pretty much the average price. Now you can get some of the cheaper smoke machines, of course, that don't have the features, don't have the gauges. You can make one yourself, guys. Like I said, I've got one I made out of a paint can up there right now, but it's kind of a pain in the butt to work with. Most of the cheaper ones you have to hook to a air compressor, so you have to have that air compressor with you. You can't just take this thing, you know, to your buddy's house and hook it up and use it without having an air source. This thing, you could take it anywhere. You know, generally you're not going to be looking for vacuum leaks on the side of the road, but if you had to, this would let you do it, guys, because you don't have to have an external air source. It's all self-contained. I let it run for about 7 or 8 minutes. It actually flooded my entire garage with smoke in about a minute, and I had to set up 2 box fans. So it does put out a tremendous amount of smoke. That's a good thing. And it never overheated, guys. It never shut off on me. So yeah, overall, again, the one drawback is the instructions, but if you can overlook that, I'd say it's a good machine. I'm going to give it a thumbs up, and yeah, guys, I'd recommend it. So bottom line, if you're looking for a nice solid smoke machine that's portable, does not require an external air source or anything like that, this is the one that I'm currently recommending. And again, this is a sponsored video, but you guys who have been watching my channel for a while know that if I think something's crap, I will call it crap. I've called numerous things crap on this channel before. I realize, you know, this is foreign made. This is not made in the USA. It's obviously made in probably China, somewhere like that. But I'm pretty impressed with it, guys, and I intend to use the heck out of this machine. So again, if you want to check this machine out, the link will be in the description of this video. Hopefully, there will also be a discount code for my viewers in the description of the video too, to get you 10-20% off whatever the manufacturer wants to give me. So if you want to see more product reviews, I actually have a playlist that's specifically for product reviews. If you're more into the budget build, hot rodding stuff, turbos, nitrous, etc., we have multiple playlists for different projects that I have going on currently, so you can check those out. As always, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with somebody who might need one of these, or you know, somebody that you might hear is looking for a smoke machine. Just share this video with them. Maybe they can check it out. Maybe they decide they want one of these as well. Now get out in the garage, get something done, and as always, I will see you next time here on Bad Luck Garage.